Hey guys, what's up? It's imuRgency and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, do we have a lot to talk about today. I just got done watching You Season 3 and I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, a lot of things I need to get off my chest because this season was a lot. So much actually. I've heard a lot of opinions on this season, some people saying that it was really great and some people saying that it was not its best work and actually dragged on for too long. I'm here to give you my opinions, my best interpretations of what I think that this season really represents and what's really going on, and sort of delving into the ending because that ending was something, and we'll talk about it. But first, before we get into anything, if you are new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss when I post. Also, leave a like on this video because that helps out a lot, and if you're feeling like going the extra mile, check out my social medias at imuRgency, specifically my Instagram, because I'm really trying to step up Instagram and you should be there to see it. Yeah, but with all that formal stuff out the way, let's talk about You Season 3. So, quick roundup of the season to catch everybody up. Basically, to start off the season, Joe and Love move to Madre Linda. Did I say that right? Is that right? I think so. Basically, it's a suburb in Northern California, and they're escaping there to have their baby and really just escape the life that they managed to screw up in LA with all the stuff with Love's brother and the murders. And it really seems like they're there for change. They're there to be different, except for the fact that they are both serial killers. This season, I like to say that Love officially became like a serial killer, but that's besides the point. Regardless, they think something's going to be different, but as things usually go for a family of serial killers, it's just more and more of the same. And it all really starts off with Joe not being able to stay faithful to his wife, who loves him, has a kid with him, adores him, would kill for him, and he ends up going for the neighbor. I mean, like, okay. But unfortunately for Joe, he married someone who happens to be a little possessive, sorry, not possessed. I mean, she could be a little devil possessed so that she acts. But yeah, no, he basically gets caught up with this girl. Love finds out and puts an axe to her neck. Right. And that really just follows the theme of this season. It is Joe finds new love interest that's not Love, and Love tries to kill said love interest. Also, there's the fun part of like them living a normal suburban life and having a kid and then trying to like protect the kid from all the drama, but also trying to fit in without getting caught and like cover up for all the murders that Love does, and then eventually the murders that Joe does. And it's just a lot of mental gymnastics to be able to live a nice suburban life. And spoiler alert, it doesn't work out. So let's get into some of the important things this season. First off, this season really highlights how much of a monster that Love can be. It was alluded to, hinted at. We saw little glimpses of it in season 2, but season 3, we really get to see the full bloodlust of Love Quinn. Because I think at the end of the season, she had 2 confirmed kills and 2 more that she was really attempting to and almost did. Those being Theo and her husband Joe. We'll get there. But yeah, she really does take full liberties with the whole marriage vow, like till death do us part, because she is not letting Joe go until both of them, or one of them, both of them are getting taken out. And I feel like that really speaks to Joe's character, because while Love is descending into like this whole serial killer, Joe is falling further and further out of love with her. And I really think that this is because he's realizing that Love is basically the mirror reflection of him. Like whenever he's looking at Love, he's looking at a reflection of himself, and he really, really hates that side of himself. He said it multiple times throughout the season how much he hates like the serial killer side of him, the bloodlust side of him. He's trying to be better, but Love is like the physical embodiment of that. So he can't really escape his past and his innate nature to be a serial killer while he's still with Love. And of course, this sparks a lot of different conflicts, which honestly could have all been resolved. If you think about it, like all of the conflicts in this show could have been resolved. Well, not all of them, but all of them with like Joe and Love, if they would have just stayed in that couples therapy. Like, I don't know what really inspired you to think that a week of having a good marriage after having like months of struggle would like automatically fix all that trauma. Like, no, you should not have signed away that therapist. The therapist needs to come back. It's a long time journey. You don't get fixed that easy. You need to give her a dial, give her a ring, bring her back so that none of this happens. Now let's get into some of the other characters in the show, because I feel like this season introduced a lot of different characters who have very distinct and interesting personalities. Starting off, we have Sherry and Carrie, who I loved to hate. I really love to hate Sherry and Carrie, just because they're the stereotype, the archetype, the blueprint of what you think of when you think of LA or like California people, or like the average social media obsessed millennial, just because they are very narcissistic, very snarky, very consciously aware, but but also not self-aware. And that just really makes them very uncomfortable to watch and be around. They're also really strange people. Like, they're genuinely strange people. But I will say that their time to shine definitely was in the cage scene when Love like locked them up into the little murder cage that her and Joe love to build everywhere they go. Also, that's another thing. Like, how have they not been caught? How do they not see the thread of connection when that murder cage just happens to be everywhere the serial killers go? I don't know if they're putting the pieces together there. But regardless, the cage scene was definitely doing them a lot of justice because it was fun to really see their relationship tested, because they really spent the whole season like boasting the relationship, being like, oh, we're so healthy, we're so good, like, shut up. And then they ended up shooting each other, which is like awful to say, but it was very entertaining because you really got to see them break down and appreciate each other more. They didn't really change as people at all. They just got close to each other. And the whole scene of them like actually like making money off it and like being in a TED Talk being like, oh, cage your partner to get closer to them, and like profiting off of it, like, ugh, I hate them, but also I love them. But speaking of annoying characters, there also is Theo, and Theo definitely irked me a little bit too much. Theo is the son of Natalie and that other guy, basically the neighbors that ended up really getting ran through by the Goldberg household. But what I find most annoying about Theo is that he doesn't know how to mind his own business, and he's always putting his nose where it doesn't belong. Like, for example, why are you as a 19-year-old actively pursuing a married woman in her 30s? Like, I get it, trauma, your mom died, but also she's your neighbor, a woman in her 30s with a husband and a kid, you know? Like, where are your friends? That's my question. Where are your friends? Like, did you not grow up here? Where are your friends? You are not a bad looking man by any means. You have a decent personality. Little nosy, but where are your friends? You go to college. Where are they? Maybe instead of getting into grown folks' business, and when I say grown folks, I mean grown, middle-aged even, business. How about you invest that energy into making some friends your own age, you know? Stick to the 20s, you know? But yeah, he got caught up. He really did get caught up. But you know who did mind their own business and did it flawlessly? Marianne. Marianne is the manager of like the library that Joe works at, and is the second woman that Joe cheats on Love with. She knew how to mind her own business. She knew how to stay in her lane. Like, specifically that scene where Love invited her to her house in attempts to, you know, take out Marianne because she found out she knew better. I will say, she had me in the first half of her actually walking into the house. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave. And then Love pressured her into coming in. She's like, oh, okay. Once her daughter was in the picture, she knew to be quiet and to just go. Like, she knew to dip, because if she didn't, she would have gotten taken out. She knew better. She minded her black business and she got out of there. Because you know what happens when you don't mind your black business, or just mind your business at all? You end up like homegirl. You end up like homegirl from behind her eyes. You end up a puppet. Someone takes over your body and they steal your kid. I don't know. Like, that is the dangers of not minding your business while black in one of these Netflix dramas. So shouts out to Marianne for that. I really loved her character, and she just was so perfectly flawed that nothing but good things for her. Now I kind of want to get into some hot takes, some unpopular opinions, if you will. First things first, for a family of serial killers, why does no one lock their doors? Like, why does no one lock their doors? Like, for example, why was Theo able to break into the bakery, or just walk into the bakery at that? Because Love didn't lock any of the doors when she knew that she had people held captive and she was under investigation. Like, why would you not lock the door there? Also, Love, maybe this is just a Love not knowing how to lock doors, but Love, why did you not lock the door when you were having your husband passed out? You know, you just left the house. You're like, oh, he's not gonna do anything, but someone did break in, you know? Like, do you not care? I don't know. It's just the attention to detail in these serial killers that maybe, you know, just isn't giving. Next unpopular opinion kind of has to do with the ending. Like I said, like, the ending was very controversial because some people say that it was very good, some people said it dragged on. I personally really like the ending, except for the part where Joe kind of had plot armor when he, like, you know, like popped those pills back so he wouldn't be like fully paralyzed. Like, I feel like that kind of came out of nowhere just to, you know, give Joe the upper hand. I feel like they tried to explain it pretty well in the sense that, like, he had not trusted Love from the beginning. Like, since they moved there, like, he had not trusted her, which really goes to show the different levels of like serial killer. Because Love is like new to this, but Joe has been living this. Like, he has been preparing to backstab his wife from the very beginning. And I loved the callback to the teeth from the second person that Love killed, where he was like, oh, I can't tell you where the teeth are because it's better that you don't know, because he was using it to frame her for whatever thing that he would need to frame her for. It also shows that, contrary to popular belief, he can actually hide shit when he wants to, and that everything that Love has found were things that he wanted her to find. Because why was he able to hide that that whole treasure chest full of stuff to incriminate her, but he couldn't hide all the knickknacks of like the people that he was cheating on love with, you know? Like it all shows like intention. And just like that whole scene of him like putting together this whole story to flawlessly get away, take out his wife, leave his kid, and just become an enigma and disappear again, like that is some next level thinking that I just do not know how he just had a plan for. Like he had a backup plan for that probably since the beginning. Like the only part that he probably ever regrets is the part of like leaving his son. And of course at that point he kind of had to. These next few things are kind of nitpicky, I will say. They're just things that I noticed and that really just maybe yell at the screen a little bit. Number one, Joe. At the end where you're looking for Marianne, you make your escape. Why would you go to Paris? Why is Paris the first option where you're like, oh, this is where I'm gonna find Marianne? Where did it ever give Marianne had Paris funds? When did we get there? How was she going to get to Paris with her daughter and no job? You know, like it was giving like maybe she was like a town over, 2 towns over, maybe even in New Jersey, because she did call that out. I know of course like her ex-husband was doing all that and then he ended up getting murked by Joe. But I feel like Paris just was not the move, you know? Also Joe, things that don't make sense. Why do you keep going to different places and not changing up your appearance at all? Like why do you look the same? You know, you've looked the same for 3 seasons and each time you've been in major tabloids, like your face specifically in this one is in the tabloids. Like they showed you, your face is there. Why did you not change your look? I don't know. You just see like a guy that looks exactly like a serial killer missing the same 2 toes that they say in the story that were gone. Just some things aren't adding up. And then the last nitpick for Sherry and Carrie, why did you not see that there was a keyhole on the inside earlier? Like why'd you have to shoot each other and like drain each other to death, like about to die before you saw the keyhole? Like that was just something that, I don't know. After like hour 2, you would have like investigated the room a little bit, like looked around when you knew that no one was coming for you. That's just like the icing on the cake for me. Top tier reason why I just do not like them. But then looking forward, I really just wish that they would not have killed off Love. Like that is my last regret. Like I really wish that they would not have killed off Love, or Love would have come back in different seasons. Like Love is definitely dead, but I wish that she wasn't, because I feel like it would have been so much better to see her come back in next seasons, like hunting down Joe, like how that other girl did in like season 1. I just feel like that would have been a more interesting like season 4 of like him trying to live his life but also trying to avoid his ex-wife who's actively trying to kill him and those around him. I don't know. That could have been an interesting plot line. Netflix, if you want to pick that up. I know it's based off of a book, but like still, if you want to pick that up, you can take the idea. I just feel like it'd be really interesting. I feel like Love was such a great character and could be expanded on so much more and just show how much more unhinged that she can get. I don't know, just my thought. But yeah, that was You season 3. Those were all of my thoughts, questions, concerns. I would definitely give this season a solid 8.5 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. I really liked watching it, and I thought that of course like it had its moments where it like dragged on and was kind of annoying. But overall, I really do love You. Just as a show, this was like really interesting, and I feel like I don't know what they're gonna do for season 4, to be honest. I do not know what direction they're gonna go with season 4 because I kind of did leave things very, very up in the air. But I will definitely be watching because I love this series. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, then hit that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so that you never miss when I post. If you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and comment down below on things that I didn't talk about or things that I might have missed. I would love to chat with you down in the comment section below. Also, make sure to follow me on my social medias here at imuRgency and to click the link in my description to join my community Discord server. But other than that, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I've been imuRgency, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.